Hello everyone, this is the second episode of our RevoEngine building. So first I want to explain some organizational package of the RevoEngine, and here is a simple class diagram that I would use as a documentation of the engine, and the whole thing will be built on a species of service provider pattern and a adapter pattern. So we're going to join these two pieces of patterns for this first build, and we're going to see if we need some other patterns in future. And here you can see that our window will going to be handled as a adapter. This is the way we would use window SDL2 and core services that we need to initialize our OpenGL thing, SDL2 thing, and event pooling. So we're going to put these things as a service, and when we need to create a window, we request the service, and the service going to be requested to the service provider. So the service going to create the window as this method you can see here, create window, and when we need to initialize, set, and add new core service, we're going to put this thing in here as a list of core services. And some conventions we're going to take off is the M for member as private members of the whole class. It's not going to be camel case on member and public methods. And for namespacing, we're going to use Revo colon. Let's write some code. I've created a src as our source folder where we're going to establish our core features in here. So I'm going to add core in a specific code, and here we're going to create our services. First we need a Windows service, it most like an interface, but I won't use the convention of I for the interface. Let's check this out. So this is a curly virtual function that is the same as a interface, and a boolean that will be a check for close it if the window close it request was made, and a window virtual window, start, create, and we're going to add a IO string for the std string, so it's the title and the width and the height. Fine, that's our window interface like. And in our service we need a core service declaration. So this is the namespace. The namespace is going to be namespace Revo for RevoEngine. I should use core for our core division, but not this time. I'm going to think the organization of the code for the next weekend. So this can change, but will be documented and viewing in the class diagram. Class core service public. A core service we need to virtually init let me see, it was named initialize is better combination. Virtual void terminates equals to 0. This is a normal interface as well. So here we need a class. Now we're going to create a class that is our adapter. Revo core specific, copy, and let's go. I'm going to create a window SDL2. This is our class that handle window creation using SDL2. So finish. Here it is. Create a namespace. And let's go. So here we need to implement the window. And we need to refer to our core window. I'm going to put this as a include because it's prettier, and we don't need a dot window. We just use the project include folder itself. So here it is, window. So in here we inherit from window, but here we have a second namespace. Our namespace is going to be adapter namespace because we need it as a adapter. Here it is, and namespace adapter. And that's it. So this is adapter, window STL. This is inside of here, and that should be fine. So we need to implement the pure function. And here comes the tricky thing. As the SDL, we need a window of the SDL. So in here we're going to use SDL2 as the window handler. SDL window M window. That's it. And we need to store our title, string title, with I, and a boolean if the window were closed. And close. We're not respecting the convention, but we're going to change that in here. And closed. All in our minimum convention. And here we're going to set up this. We're going to use this when we refer to this window, and we're going to refer our inherited classes without this. This is another convention that we're going to use because this refers specifically to this class, and other things are other things, and that's the way it is. And I don't want to get involved on this thing. So here and here and here. Refer to this. Close it. Going to be that one. If you create a window, it's not closed yet. And here you need to create a window. So this is the M window. And we're going to create a window. And this is the window. And first we need to store values. Store values, just this. M title, we're going to be the title. Use it. This M with it, going to be the with it. Past this is the M height, past height, and here we're going to create the window title. We need a constant C string because SDL is a C library. Here we have some flags that we can use on the system. So SDL window pose center, and SDL window pose red, and with it height. And let me see. Here in the documentation of the STL window creation, we have these flags, and we need to set up these flags as the last parameter. And for this parameter, as we going to use the OpenGL, we need to set up this parameter as the last, and here it is. And use a binary OR. We're going to set the window is resizable 2, and that's it. And we're going to return this window to the creation as we would expect. So to window. That's it. That's it for this creation. And STL delete, destroy, detach, destroy. Wait, when we delete, we correctly delete the window, and that's it for the destruction. It creates for the update. The update, we're going to handle a while for the events, but we going to store the events in here too. Event, so the event going to be handled in here. We need to end event. Here is the handler that we're going to handle all the event bullets. So pull event, this and event, and now we're going to switch the event, this and event type. This is a simple handler, so we don't going to expect this to do too much. Window close. Event type is my preferred thing. STL2 event. The event type. And here we have Kia. This is the documentation of the STL on the wiki.libstl.org. And type it here. STL window event STL quits. This is the event that we are looking for. This is the event. So here we go, and close it to true. And if I click and close it button on the top of the window like this, I'm going to close the window. This is the same as changing the flag to close it. So this is the checker. The checker is going to check the whole thing, and let's close it, create a window. That should be fine. And here we are going to create a class that we're going to use as a service provider. Service provider, and use this directory as we would expect. So namespace Revo that's it. Namespace Revo. So as we were defining here, we need this 5 metas, and we needed this vector to store our core services that need to be initialized and added and terminated, and we needed this to set up services, to set the Windows service, and a creation of a window. And here we go to create it. So we need to add window and core service. Here it is. Fact std factor core service start. There's a pointer to core services. We don't want to copy this, we just want to station it. Core services. That's it. And we need a window as window service. And window service. And here we need to describe our methods. So this is the set window service window service wait, and we need to create our window. So create window, create window. That's it. Title int with height, window wing service or services. Let's add service core service star core service. We need to initialize core service, so we need init core services. We're going to initialize all service and terminate core services. Start the Windows service, create a window, add a core service, initialize all core services, and terminate all core services. That's okay. That should be fine. And let's implement this. Control dot create. I'm going to create all of them first before the implementation. That's it, and that's it. This is a simple setter, so Windows service, that's okay. On the initialization, we need to define this things as null. Only pointers. For creation of the window, we're going to make a try catch. Let's expose the message of the error. So dot x dot what we are trying to create a window, so we're going to return a Windows service creation of the window. So here it is, our service create and use the parameters pointer, and that's it. If the core service was not initialized yet, we're going to expose a error message and error, that's it. Window service as not yes no yet. Not too much explanation about this because it's simple as possible. And here we're going to check if the core service that is going to be added is no or not null. to add to our core services factory. Core service is added, and for these two we just need to access these two things. We're going to use a normal array access. This m core services dot size I plus plus m this m core services I dot it's not that, this is the right thing to do. And for termination we're going to use terminate, and that's it. This is the implementation of the service provider. I'm going to create comments with more explanation about the creation of this before send it to GitHub. And that's it. The service provider is done. I mean, for service, that's okay. And we just need two specific things for core services. We need the glue initialization and core service glue, because we need to initialize it. Name space revo namespace adapter let's include gl glue and include source for our service and let's implement the pure virtual functions. And that's it. I'm going to use the revo curly braces convention. Here it is. We don't need this. Either this. For the initialization, we're going to start a glue experimental to true. And if glue glue not initialize it. Let's see there. Glue not initialize it. And that's it. Glue needs to be initialized in this way. It's not needed to be terminated. So that's it. the initialization process is just that. That's it. And we need to add a class for SDL systems initialization. For service SDL2. The SDL2 needs a init. It's a init2, so I'm going to create it. Namespace Revo, namespace adapter. Here it is. Namespace Revo, namespace adapter. That's it, and we need to implement core service. But in here we need a initialization of SDL. So if SDL, we need to initialize to include SDL. If not SDL, the answer is different. Init SDL init video. We just want to initialize. We just want to initialize everything. We don't need anything else. Different. This 0 is the right answer. Initialize it. And SDL quit. This is the function. I'm going to initialize all the video right now, and we need to test the services, so let's check it out. Here we need to include our SRC core service provider, and we need to include our window and core service, and for specific we need to include our specific code too. SDL this is the adapter. going to write the initialization. Service providers, services dot add core service new and after initialize first STL2. We need to initialize first STL2 and we need to initialize glue after it. This is the right order. We need to add in order to initialize correctly the services, and we need to provide the service of a window creation. Set the window, so new window adapter and window STL2, and we're going to use the window service right now, window, and this is going to be the window service dot create window RevoEngine. Going to be 800 by 600, and while window not close it, we're going to update the window and that's it. Nothing more going to be handled in this tutorial, so we're going to compile it and see what happens. It's compiling and successfully. I'm going to give it a try. Win32 debug glue revo STL and that's all. That should be fine. So let's click. Window has stopped it. Let's see what's happening. I'm going to use the Revo itself. See, this will going to be attached to the running instance of the Visual Studio, and we're going to see the call stack and all the variables that are in here. Break. Let's see what happening. What is happening? What is happening? The event. Pull event. Event. This event in here. Step over. Oh, this is the problem. The event is no. the events. Okay. Here, in this moment, the event returning null. So I'm going to use it as it is in the documentation. I'll give it a try again, and let's see what happens right now. That's it. The windowing is resizing. We don't have a context yet, but the windowing is resizing correctly. The RevoEngine is created, so we now have a fully function of this starting and kind of simple adapter pattern and service provider interface. Let's see if handle correctly the close, and yeah, that's it. So if you like it, hit the button and wait for the next episode on next week, and I promise this time going to be on Monday for a every week episode of RevoEngine of this playlist. See you next time.